everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Before we jump into the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. Let's get started. Nobody expected Liam Spencer to collapse in the middle of Il Giardino's sun-drenched terrace. One moment, he was charming his way through lunch with a business associate. The next, he was slumped over the table, face pale, lips trembling, sweat pooling on his brow. The ambulance took less than 8 minutes to arrive, and it was Dr. John Finnegan himself who met the gurney at the emergency room doors. Steffi had just returned from a spa weekend with the kids when the call came through. By the time she arrived at the hospital, Finn had already begun a series of diagnostics. Blood pressure erratic, heart rate spiking and then plummeting. But the most curious part, the traces of a foreign substance in Liam's bloodstream, something not typically found in medication or food. Finn frowned, pacing outside the observation room as Liam lay unconscious. The results didn't make sense. He pulled the chart closer, reading it over again. Elevated adrenaline, irregular serotonin activity, a strange protein compound that had no record in any database he accessed. He'd only ever seen something close to this in experimental studies, ones not even approved by the FDA. What the hell had Liam gotten into? He dialed a number. Lab? Run the full toxicology again. Cross-reference with international trials. This is something new. Behind him, Steffi approached quietly, her expression taut. Finn, is he going to be okay? Finn hesitated. Physically? Maybe, but something's not adding up. She stepped closer. You mean someone did this to him? Finn nodded slowly. I don't think it was an accident. Whatever's in his system, it was put there deliberately. Back at Forrester Creations, tension simmered in a different corner. Nick Marone, freshly returned to Los Angeles and already poking his nose into boardroom affairs, had managed to ruffle more feathers in a week than most people did in a year. Eric Forrester, recently recovering from his own health scare, wasn't thrilled about Nick's unofficial involvement with Donna, or his sudden interest in family business. Come in, Nick, Eric said, waving him into the grand office filled with sketches and fabrics. His tone was calm, but the ice behind his eyes betrayed a deeper storm. Let's talk. Nick adjusted his navy blue blazer and walked in with that sailor's swagger. Something on your mind, old man? Eric's voice was measured. I know you think your presence here is charming, that your roguish history makes you interesting. But this isn't the Marone fleet. This is Forrester territory. Nick chuckled. You sound like Ridge. You both always did underestimate me. Eric leaned forward. This isn't about underestimation. It's about boundaries. Stay away from Donna, and stay out of this company. You stir up storms wherever you go, Nick. I've just come through one. I won't weather another. Nick's grin faltered, just a touch. You think I'm here to start trouble? Eric's voice dropped an octave. I know it, and I'm warning you, stay in your lane. Back at the hospital, Liam finally stirred, his eyes flickering open like someone waking from a nightmare. His first word was whispered. Hope. Finn leaned over him immediately. Liam, can you hear me? Do you remember what happened? Liam blinked. I was at lunch, talking to a developer about the Spencer Outreach project. And then he closed his eyes again, wincing. My head feels like it's on fire. Finn kept his voice gentle but firm. You were poisoned. Or drugged. We're still working out exactly what it was. Liam's eyes shot open again. What? No. That's not possible. I didn't take anything. Finn didn't push further. Not yet. But the look in Liam's eyes wasn't just confusion. It was fear. Deep, personal fear. The kind that only comes when someone realizes a long-buried secret might be clawing its way to the surface. Later that evening, as the sun dipped below the Los Angeles skyline, Finn sat in his office going over the test results again. The compound in Liam's blood finally had a name: RX349M, an unapproved neuroagent last mentioned in a medical scandal involving illegal trials in South America. The experimental drug was known to alter emotional perception, heighten romantic obsession, suppress guilt, even induce euphoric loyalty towards specific people. Finn's heart sank. Was someone trying to manipulate Liam emotionally? And if so, who? He needed more information. Against protocol, he accessed Liam's private patient history. And that's when he saw it. A curious note from 6 months ago. An off-the-record prescription refill written by a now-retired physician in Mexico. The drug listed: a prototype version of RX349M, under a different alias. Liam had it in his system long before the restaurant incident, which meant this wasn't an accident. This was maintenance. Finn sat back in his chair, stunned. The baffling discovery wasn't just that Liam had been dosed. It was that he'd likely been dependent on this mystery drug for months, and someone close to him had been making sure he stayed that way. Meanwhile, Steffi paced outside the room, piecing together her own suspicions. Brooke had been suspiciously quiet. Hope had been more distant lately, too. Could this have something to do with their marital drama? And what about Thomas, who had recently returned from a shadowy stint in Europe with no explanation of where he'd been? Later that night, Eric stood by his window at the Forrester mansion, swirling a brandy in his glass. Donna sat quietly nearby, watching him. "You think Nick's really here for me?" she asked softly. Eric turned to her, his voice gravelly with age and wisdom. "Nick's never done anything without a motive, and something tells me he's tangled up in something bigger than we realize." Donna's brows furrowed. "You think this has to do with Liam?" Eric didn't answer at first, but his instincts told him yes. Nick's sudden return, Liam's collapse, and the strange tension hanging over the entire family. It all reeked of secrets long buried and just now starting to rot. The next morning, Finn arrived early at the hospital to find a note slipped under his office door. It was scrawled hastily, unsigned. "If you keep digging, you'll wish you hadn't. Walk away, doctor, before you end up like him."